Hi, everybody. My name is Tiffany Douglas. I'm one of the trainers here at Broadview Networks, and today I will be taking you through the MyOfficeSuite portal, our customer-facing website for all of your communication needs. Now, today's demo is designed to be a high-level overview of all of the most important features. If you're looking for an in-depth training, then you can work with your Broadview representative and they can make sure they get that scheduled for you. So all right, let's dive in. So the website you can see up at the top of my screen is myofficesuite.broadviewnet.com. So I'm already logged in, so I'm here on the dashboard, and I'm actually logged in as an administrator, so I'm seeing everything. So as I scroll down this page, I'm seeing all the widgets. It's like a single pane of glass with everything that I need that's important to me and my business. I can have it all right here on this screen and even have the things that I care about most up at the top, kind of like on your iPhone where you can rearrange your apps. We click Customize Dashboard, and then I decide what I see. So let's say I don't care about the billing. I have somebody else that pays that for me. Let's see, my voicemail, very important, so I'm going to put that up top. I can move around any of these widgets, click Save, and now my dashboard is going to reset, and every time I log in, that's how my widgets will be arranged, the way that I want them. So now we can see that voicemail moved over to be that very first widget. Now, all these widgets that I see here and what we're going to discuss today, pretty much anything you can do from here, you're also going to be able to do from your cell phone with just a few limitations. But, you know, really any smartphone or tablet, you can download our MyOfficeSuite desktop app, and you're going to have the availability to check voicemail and, you know, set your call forwarding and turn your twinning on and all of the other things that I'm going to go through with you today. Now, when we first looked at this page, we saw it as an administrator, right? There's lots and lots of widgets here. So that you can get an idea of what the user experience would be like, I'm going to come up here to the dashboard and say My Services. So it's only going to show me the things that pertain to me as the user. So my voicemail, my phone keys, my call forwarding, those types of things. So you can see when I change that, now there's only 9 widgets showing. So this is standard what, you know, most users would use, and then we'll shift over to the admin functions a little bit later as we move through the portal, and you'll see everything that an admin can do. But the users will have just a handful of widgets and only a handful of these menus up at the top of the page as well. So a lot of things that I'm going to show you, you can do it via a drop-down menu or via a widget. We've designed it with you in mind so that you can choose the way that you prefer to use the website. So let's jump right into voicemail. Pretty important, right? Everybody you know, needs to get those voicemails. So you're going to be able to see here, right here on your widget, how many voicemails you have. You can also check it from your phone, from your smartphone. You can call your number. There's lots of ways that you can get your voicemail messages. You can also go into voicemail settings and set it up so that you automatically receive an email anytime that you receive a voicemail, and you can also choose the transcription option. So when I get an email regarding voicemail, it also has a message transcribed. So if I'm in an important meeting, I can just glance down at my phone. It may not be perfect, right, because it depends on the person's enunciation, but I can at least get the gist of what the voicemail is about and if it can wait or if I need to step out of that meeting. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. You may have noticed that I have my voicemail widget right next to the My Email widget. So should you decide to use Broadview's Open Exchange webmail, that's going to also integrate with this widget. You'd see all your emails here, and you could manage those two really important means of communication side by side. Now, the next widget I have here is the My Phones widget, and this is what we use to program the keys on our phones. And this is one of our big differentiators because we're 100% in the cloud. We have zero intelligence in the phone, which makes it much easier for your employees to program those phone buttons because they do it on an interface that's very user-friendly rather than trying to do it through the phone and having all these menus, and it can be very, very cumbersome. So we have it all in the cloud for you. You simply come to this phone widget, you click configure, we're going to go in there and program some phone keys, and then that's your phone. So through our offer of hot desking, you can walk up to any phone that's part of your tenant, part of your account, log in with your extension and PIN, and now everything follows you. The keys that you've programmed, your voicemail, people can dial your extension and they automatically get you because you've logged into that phone. They don't need to know that today you're at the New York location and next week you're at the California location. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are within your network, you log in and everything follows you. So let's look at how easy it is to program those keys. So it's going to pop up with the phone model that you're logged into. Since I'm not logged into one right now, we'll simply pick. Okay, so you'll actually see the picture of the phone up here that you've logged into, and then the buttons will match that phone. So we can see that I have a bunch of things already programmed on the first page, and I have a handful of line appearances. Definitely want to keep those. So I move to the second page, lots of unassigned keys there. So I click unassigned, and I simply pick whichever feature I want from this list that I want to put on my phone. And if I don't remember what something is, I can select it, and then up here, it's going to actually tell me what that feature does. So we're never going to hand you some 500-page user guide to have you figure things out. We make it very easy. As you're doing each function, you'll see help like this. You'll see mini videos really all throughout the website to help you with that. So let's say in this case, I'm going to do just a speed dial, right? So it might be, you know, one of the vendors that you call most frequently. So one touch speed dial. And you would put in whatever the name of your vendor here. I put in a 9 and a 1 because we then need that 9 to generate an outside call. I put in the number, I click save. My phone immediately will change to whatever name you put in there, both here on the screen, but also my live phone that I'm sitting next to right now. Those self-labeling keys are immediate. You don't have to reboot the phone or do anything like that. It shows up right away. All right, so now we've got your phone all set up. You've got your most frequently called vendors, maybe your coworkers, a handful of features that you really like. So now you've got your phone ready to go. There's other ways that you can get in touch with important people as well. So I'm going to come over to the Contacts tab and go to Favorites. So what happens is on the Coworkers tab, it's going to show you every single person in your company. Now, I went through and I marked a handful of them as my favorites simply by clicking the star next to them, and that set them as a favorite. So now these are the people that I call the most, and I can easily see in green which ones are available. So I can see Sam and Humphrey. They are available to take a call because their phone is green. Their chat bubble is crossed out, so that tells me they're actually not logged in to the website either through their PC, their laptop, their smartphone, whatever it may be. They're not actually logged in to be able to chat with me, but they are logged in to their desk phone, so I can call them. I can also see David's in training, Brian's on vacation. So this can make it much more efficient that before you even place that call, you know which one of your coworkers are available or not. And then you simply click the little phone icon, and it is a click to call. So then it makes your OfficeSuite device ring for you. Now let's say I did want to chat somebody instead of calling them. Looks like Brian's available. As soon as I click chat, then my little quick connect guy pops out, right? We can see Brian and I were testing, gosh, last year. So it's, you know, easy to chat with those coworkers. Now, this little menu that popped out, we call this the quick connect. So if I press this guy right here, it minimizes again. Now, no matter what screen I'm on, so if I go back to the dashboard, for example, I'm still going to have my little quick connect tab over here. So I can just pop him out, and no matter what page I'm on, I'm again going to see who's available to chat, who's available to take a call, how many voicemails I have, my call history. I can even create group chats. So maybe I want to create a chat just through, you know, my department. There can maybe be 10 of us on that chat and all share information with each other. So we make it very easy to get to our quick connect. Then we also have, if I minimize this, we also have a desktop app that looks identical to the Quick Connect tab. So we've had some customers say to us, well, this whole presence thing that I can see who's available is great, but I'm not going to be living in the MyOfficeSuite portal all day. I'm going to be in my own CRMs. Well, that's great. We have the answer to that. So you simply open up this desktop app, you can just kind of keep it off to the side, and the majority of your screen is going to be your CRM that you're working off of. And we do also integrate with many CRMs, such as Salesforce, Skype for Business, Office 365, Dynamics, and a whole list of other ones that your Bobby representative can get into with you. All right, and the next thing I want to talk about that's a user-facing feature is twinning. So if I set this to on and click save, and I've already put my cell phone number in there. That means that now when anyone calls my extension, both my desk phone and my cell phone are going to ring simultaneously, so I never miss a call. The best part is, let's say I answer that call on my cell phone. Maybe I'm in the parking lot and I'm just walking back into the building after a meeting, and I'm talking on that twinned call on my cell phone. When I get back to my desk, I'm going to see a line appearance on my phone. I hit the line appearance, and now that twinned call has gone back to my desk phone. My cell phone disconnects automatically, and the person that I'm talking to hasn't even noticed it. It's been completely seamless. So twinning, definitely a very, very popular feature that a lot of people like to make sure they never miss a call. I'm going to go ahead and turn mine off, and then I'm going to show you one more user-based feature before we move into the admin features. In this case, I'm going to use the menus. Again, just another way of getting to different places. I'm going to go to my call handling. And the option I'm about to talk about is called selective call routing. So basically, we're going to set this up to where every DID points to an extension, right? So it's either going to point to a user extension, or it's going to point to an auto attendant, or it's going to point to a call group, however you need your call set up. Well, let's say we're taking that example where a DID is now pointed to a user extension. Okay, so my user extension is 117. Once that call lands at my user extension, I, as the user, can control even more regarding the routing. So as an example, I might create a VIP group, and I might put my top 10 customers in there and my boss and maybe my spouse, who knows, right? I put the most important people in there. That means they're always going to get in touch with me, because even if it's the end of the day, let's say it's 6 p.m., I'm done for the day, I turn my twinning off, I go home. If they're a part of my VIP group, it's still going to ring, of course, my extension, but also my cell phone, and up to 5 destinations. So maybe it also rings my house phone, and who knows, maybe my beach house, we'll see. So it will ring up to 5 destinations simultaneously, even when twinning is off. So this really gives the user the ability to have these most important phone calls always get through to them. And we can also do the opposite and set up a block set of rules. So maybe I say anybody whose number shows as unavailable can't get through, or I have certain nuisance callers that are always calling me from the same phone number. I can put them in the block group. So we really give the user a lot of control over their features, managing their voicemail, how their calls are forwarded, turning twinning on and off, programming their phone keys. It really gives them that ability to handle a lot of functions themselves. It makes them be able to get these features more quickly because they can do it themselves rather than waiting on someone, and it frees you up as the administrator or even your IT staff from having to program people's phones. So all right, those were the user features that I wanted to highlight. Now I'm going to move into some of the administrative functions. So if I go to settings and I go to user manager, this is where you would add new users. So let's say you hire a new employee. I'll click create new user. It's going to ask me some basic information, right? What's their first and last name, their email address, what kind of profile do you want them to have, and we'll get into that in a minute. What should their extension be, anything special to their presence, and do they need any additional services like an HD meeting account, a toll-free number, anything like that. So it takes me, less than 60 seconds. I click create user, and then this person gets a welcome email, and now they're set up in the system. Very, very easy. Now, we talked about, well, what profile should I give them? Here are all the profiles for this particular demo account. So you can see the administrator and the standard user, they don't have a little pencil to edit. They have this little star next to them. You can't delete them. These are hard-coded. Every single OfficeSuite customer is going to have 2 profiles pre-configured for them. One, the administrator. That person can do anything and everything. Then the other one is going to be a standard user. Somebody that's only going to see the my stuff, so my voicemail, my call forwarding, my twinning, just the things that affect that user's day-to-day communications. Now, you can see in this demo account, we've also got a bunch of other profiles set up. because what we've let you do is say, well, maybe I have this person that, you know, pays the bills for me, and I'd also like them to be able to manage my auto attendance for me, but I don't want them to be able to mess with, you know, anything else in the system. I don't want them to be able to purchase things, anything that would add more to the bill. You can get very, very specific and control what things each profile allows that user to do. So typically, you know, I put a name in here, whatever I want the name of the profile to be. I would typically check off most of the My stuff because you want to give the user, you know, the ability to manage their stuff. Then I come down here to the administrator functions. And here's where I can get really picky, right? So yes, they can manage auto attendance. Yes, they can pay the bills for me. Maybe they're allowed to edit the cordless phones, but not buy more of them. So you can be very, very specific. And as I mentioned before, there's always these little information icons that explain to you, you know, what these things are. So we've made it very easy for you to add new users. No need to pay the phone guy to come out and configure anything for you. All right, once you've got all your users in there, then you may want to visit our OfficeSuite licenses page and make sure everything's allocated the way you want it. Now ignore the numbers here. They might not add up because it's a demo account and we're always messing with it. But for you, these will add up. So let's say, you know, you've purchased 100 extensions from us, but, you know, 2 of them are unallocated because you had 2 people recently that left the company and you're now going to, you know, replace them, right? So it would show that you have 100 billing, 2 unallocated, 98 allocated. So it's going to show you all of your extensions. If you need to buy more of any of these, you can do that there, and it'll be the contracted rate that you signed with us. So if you need to add on twinning licenses or give anybody mobile soft phones or some of those integrations that I mentioned before, Skype for Business or Chrome or 365, you can buy all those things here, and you can also manage them. So if I click Manage Extensions, it's putting me into the compact view because it sees that there's a lot of people added to this account, and it allows you, instead of having to wait for the whole page to load, you can search just for the person you're looking for. I happen to like the extended view because then I see everybody all on one page. And this makes it really easy for me to make changes. So if I decide I want to give everybody transcription, right, where they get the voicemail emailed to them and it's voice to text, okay, I just check off transcription for everybody. If I want to give everybody twinning, I check off twinning for everybody that doesn't have it. So it lets me to make mass updates without having to individually go into each user profile and give that person the ability to perform that function. I can also come in here on behalf of my employees. I can program phone keys for them, reset their PIN, set their music on hold, and lots of other options. So this page is really powerful. It really lets you control a lot of the features regarding your users. Next thing I want to show you is call history. So right now it's showing me all the calls from yesterday. So let's change this to 90 days and click Run so we see some more data here. So you saw I was able to, you know, change my parameters. I can really filter by anything as a manager that I want to see. So do I want to filter by a particular day of the week, by a particular department, okay, by auto attendance, by account codes, by direction type. So anything that's important to me, I set the parameters up here. Then I can do a save as, and all of my saved reports will show right here. So anything that you set up, you can easily, you know, get back to it. If you want to pop in here every Monday morning and click Run, you know, you're good to go, and then you see that report. So when I scroll down, I'm going to see the graphical data. So I can see if maybe certain days or certain times of the day I have more calls than others. It looks like on March 6th, there was 182 calls. So maybe there was some kind of telemarketing campaign that day. But, you know, that was much, much higher than the rest of the other, you know, 90 days that we're looking at. So let's say I want to take a closer look at just February and March. I don't really care about January. I just drag this over and release, and now it's going to spread out that chart a little bit. Let's say I want to get rid of this piece. Right now, again, I'm seeing in a little bit more detail just from those certain dates. Now, if I switch over to the data tab, it's going to show the actual details behind that, right? So the exact time, who called, who answered the call, what happened, and I can, of course, export to Excel. So we think that this can be really impactful in helping to manage your business, even maybe with staffing and things like that, to see when the most calls are coming in. Now, the next thing I'll show you in here is under phones, buy phones and accessories. So let's say your business is expanding, maybe you're going to hire a couple more people and you don't have a phone for them already. You can come right to this page and add more phones, and it's going to be the same price that you signed with us. Now, this is a demo account, so we've got lots of equipment tied to it. For most customers, you maybe only see 1 or 2 phone models over here. It's going to show you the model that you already have. So you don't have to, look at the back of it and try to find the model number or have a guessing game. It's going to show you what model you have. You come over here, you add it. It's going to show you the price. Where do you want us to ship it? Review order, you're done. The order gets to our warehouse the same day that you put it in the system. So typically it's going to ship by probably the next day at the latest. So you'll get those phones very, very quickly. Another feature I want to call attention to is our auto attendants. Another thing that we've made it really easy for you to do this yourselves. Some companies will include 1 auto attendant, and then any additional you get charged for. At Broadview, we don't nickel and dime you. We include all the auto attendants you could ever need. So let's go into this one here and click Edit so I can show you how it's set up. We can see here numbers 1 through 9, right? So if a customer calls in and they press number 1, it's going to take them to our last name directory. So the greeting script, which is optional that I put in here, is press 1 if you know your party's last name, right? If they press number 2, we want them to go to the admissions group. If we press number 3, we want them to go to financial aid. You can ignore some of these names in the middle here because this is a test account. So sometimes there's silly names in there. But the 2 would match up. We would point it to the call group that we want the call to land in. And here's my optional script. So once I have my auto attendant set up the way that I want it, I go over to my greeting. Now, this is great. We have 3 options that you can use. Maybe you already have something professionally recorded for your auto attendant. You can just upload that right here. Or you can say to the system, call me to record. You're going to put your extension in. Okay, so it's going to call me, and it's going to walk me through this. And it's actually going to be my voice on the auto attendant recording. Or I can use a text-to-speech. So I can type in what I want the recording to say, and then it's actually a woman's voice that is taking your customer through the auto attendant. So for anybody that maybe doesn't like the sound of their own voice, they don't want somebody internal making that recording, you can use our friend, our lady here, to record that auto attendant for you. And this is a great option as well if maybe you need to throw an auto attendant together on the fly. There's just been a big flood or a snowstorm or something, nobody can get into the office, and you want to quickly throw something together. You just type what you want it to say in here, and then you're good. All right, now a couple other things I want to call your attention to. Now I'm going to go back to all services so it shows me everything. Is there a few other features that if you go with our professional package will include a toll-free number, an HD meeting account, and an online fax package. And it's some, features that maybe aren't traditionally thought of as phone service because Broadview is much, much more than a phone system, right? We offer UCaaS, Unified Communications as a Service, really everything that you need as far as communication is concerned with your business. So we also have a widget here for HD meeting. So if I wanted to fire up an online meeting, I simply click screen share, or I click video if I want my video involved, or maybe someone else has already started a meeting and they said, hey Tiff, here's my meeting ID, 1111, and they told me the rest of it. I pop it in there and click join, and now I'm in their meeting in seconds. So it makes it very easy for you to use our HD meeting. I also have this side-by-side with our toll-free widget, right? We're going to give you one of these numbers if you go with our professional package. And look how easy it is to repoint. Here's my toll-free number. Here's the current point to number. If I click repoint, it's going to let me put in what my new destination is, and within seconds, that toll-free number is repointed. We also have our online fax widget. So if you want to get rid of the fax machine and the toner and all the paper and the nonsense, you can move to online faxing that you virtually do through an email, pretty much. And the person receiving those faxes, they are none the wiser. It just comes out of their fax machine like a normal fax. But you'll have this widget to maintain it where you'll actually see a log of all of your faxes, keeping you much, much more organized than just, paper getting lost or emails getting lost. You'll have it right there in your widget. Some other things that we've taken into account is really making sure that this website is in tune with our back-end systems. So you're going to see things like alerts, right? If let's say like a trouble ticket was just completed or an order is about to get turned up, you're going to see alerts right when you log in. You can also go to the alerts page and see if there's any that you missed. We've got a section for trouble tickets. So if you do need something, you can go online, get that ticket opened in seconds without having to wait on hold, and then someone will get back to you. We also have contact us. So if you want to chat live, I can click here, or I can click help chat up here on the top of the page here. Either one opens up a chat that is 24/7, can post a question to the community. It's kind of like our OfficeSuite blog. People share information, post user guides and things, see how to open a ticket, or if you really just want someone live on the phone, here's the phone number, or you can even send an email through here. So we give you lots of ways to get in touch with us. And we also offer training. So as a new customer, you get training specific to your company with just you and your coworkers. After that, you can have as much training as you want. We offer training 4 times a week, every single week, that anybody can come to. So if you need a refresher, you're welcome. If you hire somebody new and you don't want to have to train them, you just send them to us and we'll take care of it. Okay, we also have an orders tab, so you're always able to see exactly what's going on if you've maybe added a new location, or hey, just simply ordered another phone. No matter how minor, you can come to the orders tab, see what's going on. You're also going to be able to pay your bills through here. And there's even a billing help section. So for brand new customers getting used to the bill, I know sometimes phone bills can be a little overwhelming, confusing. We try to be as transparent as possible. So we have our bill here outlined with all the different sections, what they mean, so you know what to expect. And then we even have a glossary. So we're not hiding anything. Any of the fees and things that we have to charge, we're going to explain why and so you know exactly what to expect. Now the last thing that I want to take you to is our incoming call routing. And I had mentioned this page before. It's really the brains of the organization, right? It's taking every single DID, so every single phone number, and then showing where they're pointing. Are they pointing to someone's extension, to an auto attendant, to a call group? You can see exactly how that's set up. Now, in this case, I'm actually looking here and I can tell that right now this account, all the numbers are in an override state because I can see everything here is green. So if I click disable, it's going to go back to normal. It's not going to show green anymore. And this is going to be the normal routing for, any day. And it is rerouting 6 pages worth of phone numbers, so it took a couple seconds. All right, there we go. So now I'm back to my normal day-to-day settings, right? When somebody calls this phone number, it rings to extension 124. And you can see here we have different hours and things. So there's another section in the portal where you can say, oh, our lunch hour every day is from 12 to 1. Do something different during that hour, right? So you can set, all of that stuff up ahead of time. And then we really, help you and encourage you to think about, okay, in case of an emergency, let's say nobody can get to the office, where would you want these calls to go instead? Is it going to be somebody's cell phone number? Is it going to be somebody's home number? Is it going to be an auto attendant? Maybe you're not going to give twinning to every single user. Maybe you want something else in place to help in case of an emergency. So you proactively put these extensions or phone numbers in of where you want those calls to go instead. Let's say disaster strikes, you can't get to the office. You go on your little, desktop app on your mobile phone and you click enable all overrides, which is the same thing that I'm going to do right here. I click enable all overrides. Again, it's going to take a few seconds because it is rerouting every single phone number on this account. But ultimately, now all those calls are going to go to that override destination instead. And there you go. So now anything in green is going here instead. crisis is averted, I'm back in the office, we're ready to go. I click that disable button, and now everything is back to normal. So it's truly disaster avoidance, not disaster recovery, and we take that very seriously. All right, so that is everything that I wanted to touch on today. Again, it was just very high-level information on some of our most important features. If you'd like a full in-depth training, you can work with your Bravi representative, and they'll get that scheduled for you.